Play mode.
Swagatam. Today is Brihaspativasaраः 25तमं दिनं पश्चिमास्तस्य 26th of May. Raghuvamshakavyam Mangalacharam kriyate Ramo Rajamanish sada vijayate Ramam Ramesham bhaje Ramena vijata nishachara chamu Ramaya tasmai namaha Raman nasti parayanam parataram Ramasya dasosmyaham Rame Shittalaya sada bhautame bho Rama mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatsalyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Unnamiti Yata Shri Mahashra Sutrani I Un Rulruk E Ong Ay Auch Hayavarat Lanya Nyamang Na Nam Jabain Gadadash Jabagadash Kapha Cha Cha Tha Cha Cha Tav Kapai Sha Sha Tar Hal Iti Mahashra Sutrani. Okay, I think we are on this shloka number is number 85. So Panchashiti Tama Shlokaha. Pratyuvacha tam rishir na tattvatasvam na vedmi purusham puratanam gam gatasya tavadhama vaishnavam kopito yasi maya didrukshana. So this is one more time. Pratyuvacha tam rishir na tattvatasvam na vedmi purusham puratanam Gam gatasya tavadhama Vaishnavam kopito yasi maya didrukshuna. But that's kind of straightforward here. Is prati uvacha, pratyuvacha. Remember always one thing that the tingantam does not compound. Tingantam does not compound. So tingantam here prati and uvacha is putak padam. What happens is that the tingantam na samasyate. Tingantam na samasyate is general rule. I mean, in the Vedic there might be some exceptions, but at least for our so tingantam na samasyate. Tingantam na samasyate. Tingantam na samasyate. Tingantam na samasyate. So prati uvacha is pusak padam. Prati uvacha. Prati uvacha. Of course, you already know from our daily examples, which I hope all of you are following. I always keep telling in all the classes that this is the backbone of our class is this daily examples, because they are the ones that are give you more value than the class. This class, is limited amount of time we have in the class. You have to sure if you follow these examples every day. We already done the sutram pradeyaha, we have done the sutram upasarga kriya yoge, and te parag dhatoho. So all of these have already been done in the Saturday class. So here, if we look at all these examples, so please try to follow these examples. Try to answer the questions if you have time. If you don't have time, at least try to follow the answers every day. So even if you do this much every day, it is a lot. It is a lot if you to do every day. So really, we don't really need any classes anymore because there are so many things over here every day coming to you. That and if, of course you can ask questions. So anyway, we have done these rules, which is the Pradayaha. So under the starting from the top, we have the sutram, which is Swaradi Nipata Mavyayam. The Nipata Sanya, every Nipata gets the Avyaya Sanya. So what is Swaradi Ganaha and the Nipatas get the Avyaya Sanya. And then within that, what happens is that the Nipatas come in the 1-1-4, and it becomes Prag Rishwaran Nipataha. Prag Rishwaran Nipataha. And then under that, so up to the word Rishwara is a Nipata Adhikaraha. You have to be able to get the Adhirishware is Sutram. Adhirishware. Adhirishware is Kamasanam Adhirishware. It is, here it is, 97 Adhirishware. This is the Nipata section. Adhirishware. So now, Prag Rishwaran Nipataha. And there you have the Pradayaha, which Pradayaha, one of the Pradayas is the Prati. Prati is the Pradayaha. Upasarga Kriya Yoge. So the Prati has the in the Pradiganaha, you see Upasarga Sanya, it also has the Gati Sanya, Gatischa. Now why do you have two Sanyas, Upasarga and Gati Sanya? Because Gati Sanya is a bigger bracket. It includes many more things than just the Pradeha. Upasargas is only Pradeha Kriya Yoge. Gatischa, all the Upasargas get Gati Sanya, but there are also other things which get Gati Sanya over here also. And all of these, Upasargas and Gatis, they become Te Parag Dhatoho. Te Parag Dhatoho, Te Parag Dhatoho. So basically what we want to mention here is that Upasarga Kriya Yoge 1459 and the Te Parag Dhatoho 1480, 1459, 1480. So Prati Uvacha. So Prati Uvacha, Prati Uvacha. Prati Uvacha will be like this. Prati is 1459, which is Upasarga Kriya Yoge. Upasarga Kriya Yoge. Te Parag Dhatoho, Te Parag Dhatoho, Te Parag Dhatoho. So that is, and then of course Uvacha is Putak Padam, Uvacha is Singantam Padam, Uvacha, Uvacha. Okay, now Uvacha, to derive Uvacha, I think straightforward form by this time I think should be Dhatu is Vacha, Pratyaya is Lit Pratyaya, which is Tip. Up to that point, the first 3-4 steps are common steps. Bring in the Lakaraha, do the Anubandha Lopaha, Bahalantyam, Upadesh, Arjuna Nasika It, and after that, bring Lasya, Tip Tajji, so Pratyaya is Tip. Then what happens is that Tip becomes null. We have done this step many times now. So Tip becomes null. Tip becomes null by 3482, 3482, 3482. Which is Prasnipadanam, Null Atus Usthal Atus Null Vamaha. 282 becomes, Tip becomes null, Tip becomes null. And then, of course, in Null Pratyaha, the Chutu Halantyam, Anubandha Lope, Akara Vashishyate becomes Akaraha. So after skipping these first few steps, we can now make it Vach plus Pratyaya null became, so null was a Pratyaya which came in by 3482, and then Anubandha Lope is going to be Akara, Anubandha Lope Akaraha by Chutu Halantyam. And before doing all of this, before lit Pratyaya comes in, Parokshe lit, because Panini starts these 3 adhikaras in the third chapter in the Dvitiya Pade. He starts the Bhute Adhikaraha from 3 to 84 starts Bhute. Then you have Vartamane going from 3 to 123 downwards, and finally Panini has Bhavishyati going from 333 Bhavishyati. Right now we're looking at the past tense. We have to go on the Bhute Adhikaraha. Starts from 3 to 84 starts the Bhute Adhikaraha. And then we get this one, Bhute Adhikaraha. Here it comes the Parokshe lit. So 32115. When you bring any Pratyaya, always remember what meaning the Pratyaya is being used. That is our starting point of Parokshe lit. Then only we can go through all these other steps. Parokshe lit 33115 Parokshe lit. Then we went via the Tiptajji, etc. One more thing is that the lit Pratyaya gets the sanya of Ardhadhatukam. Because of things is Sarvatadhakam, Ardhadhatukam, Shesha, Litcha. Uttam is Litcha. So there's no question. The Kartari, Shap, etc. is only Sarvadhatuke. But Litcha, 34115 gets the sanya of Ardhadhatukam. So then there's no question of Shap, because Kartari, Shap and its apavadas, they only come in Sarvadhatuke. So 3168 Kartari Shap will only be Sarvadhatuke. Anurutya of Sarvadhatuke comes from the prior sutram. So we don't have that, so now we can just put over here 3315, 3478, 3482, and so null became and we can put over here that the 34115 stops 3168 Kartari Shap. Then after that, of course, the next sutra we can do the Abhyasa Karyam. Rishi Dhatu Ranabhyasasya becomes Vach Haladi Sheshaha. The last thing is that we have to do the Samprasaranam. So we get the vach plus vach. This will be by the abhyasakaryam, vach plus this akara over here, vach plus and so this is by the 618. It is dharunabhyasasya. 618. And then one more thing is that we there was one more operation which we could have done at this point, which is done the vriddhi of this akara over here. Make it vach. This akara is a nit pratyaya because it had no as an it, which can do the atopadhaya vriddhi of vach. But there's a rule which says dirvachane chi, which means that let's look at its important sutram. Of course, in many situations it doesn't make a difference, but sometimes it may make a difference. Dirvachane chi says that, let's look at the vritti of that, there's a nice vritti of that in this Kaumudi. Dirvachane chi says that if you want to do the dirvachanam is pending, abhyasa is pending, duplication is pending, then don't do an ajjadesha. It says the dirvachane chi is ditva nimitte achi. If there's ach following, which is ditva nimittaha, it's the cause of ditvam. So here we have the pratyaya null following, which is the lit pratyaya. It is the cause of ditvam because lit is dhatoho anabhyasa. So this akara over here, ditva nimittakaha. It is ditva nimittaha. We have ditva nimittam. So this is ach following. Then what it says is that ach adesho no. Don't do any ach adesha. Ditve kartavye. So here we had situation, we had this akara, which of course is ach, and that is the nimittam for ditvam, and that also wants to be an ajjadesha, the vriddhi of this akara here, make it vach. But that has to wait, ditve kartavye, when dittam abhyasa is to be done. So this was reason why because the reason is we have to go through the steps is because the 72116 atopadhaya is parakaryam. It's parakaryam. So technically you first have to do atopadhaya, then abhyasa. Dirvachane chi says don't do it, wait till the abhyasa is done. Of course it will not make a difference in this case. Even if you did the ajjadesha, when you go to the abhyasa you get rasvaha. So in this case it will not make any difference. Okay, then what we do is that after that we do the abhyasa karyam, which is the okay. Now, one more thing, I think we have to do one step before that, though. Okay, excuse me. One thing we have to do is this is samprasaranam. Samprasaranam. So this samprasaranam is this one, which is the samprasaranam. We are fine. Because what is here? Samprasaranam. There are three rules over here. Which dhatus take samprasaranam, and when do they take? So vachi, sapi, yajadinam, kiti. Dhatu vach, swap, and the yajadis. Yajadis are the last nine dhatus in the bhuadiganaha. Look at our dhatu patha over here. We have a nice dhatu patha which I hope all of you are using. This dhatu patha over here. If you look at the bhuadiganaha, the bhuadiganaha has more than 1,000 rules. If you look down here, at the end of the bhuadiganaha, you'll find the yajadis. So this is 24. Up to here. So it goes up to 165. It says here yaja. So yaja, vapa, vaha is 3, vasa is 4, vaying is 5, vying is 6, vying is 7, and shvi is 8. And there's one more here. One second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, vada, sorry. So this is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are the yajadis. So vachi, sapi, yajadi, nam, kiti. So these 11 dhatus take the take the samprasaranam, krit pratyaya follows. And then we have 11 dhatus here. Vahijya, vayi, vyadhi, vashti, vichati, vrishchati, vrichchati, vrijjati, nam, niticha. These take niticha, pratyaya kit or nit. Now what's happening in our situation right now is that the pratyaya is null. So null pratyaya does not become kit. Sutram that you look at right now is this sutram called asanyogad lit kit. Asanyogad lit kit. That sutram says that if you have a apit apit lit, that becomes kit. But right now the pratyaya null came in place of tip. Tip was a pit pratyaya. So 125 does not apply to null. One more time. The 125 says asanyoga lit, but anuvritti is apit. Apit. Asanyogat apit lit kit syat. Apit lit kit syat. But this null pratyaya, because of sthani vadbhava, it is a pit pratyaya. It came in place of the tip pratyaya. So it inherits the pitness, the property of having pakars in it from tip. So asanyoga lit kit does not apply here, which means that we cannot apply 6115, because 6115 requires the pratyaya to be kit. We can put that in a document. So here we can also put over here that 6115, so 125 does not apply, and then therefore the 6115 does not apply. 15 does not apply. So no samprasaranam. But what does apply is that this 6117 applies. 6117 applies. What 6117 says is that it says that lityabhyasasya ubhayesham. Lityabhyasasya ubhayesham. Lityabhyasasya ubhayesham. 617, which means ubhayesham is both these sets of dhatus. These 9, so these 11. Vachi sapi is 2, and then these 11, 9, which makes, so basically 2 plus 9 makes it 11, and then these 9, I think I mistaken, I said 11, I'm sorry. One more time. This Vachi sapi is 1, 2, then Yajadinam is 9, and then these are also 9. So Grahijja, Vai, Vyadhi, Vashti, Vichati, Vrishchati, Prichati, Vijjati. These are also 9. These are 9. Yajadis are 9. And then you got 2 over here. So these 20. All of these 20 take samprasaranam in the abhyasa of lit. Litya abhyasa syobhayesham. So 6117. 6117 we're going to apply. So what is samprasaranam? Igyanas samprasaranam. Igyanas samprasaranam. Igyanas samprasaranam. So 1145 Igyanas samprasaranam. So in place of the vakara comes the ukaraha. So and of course we'll do also the haladisheshaha. This chakara goes by haladishesha, which is samanya karyam. So now we're going to get this. We're going to have the, in place of vakara comes the ukaraha. So we got u, a, cha, and then we got like that. So this chakara is going to go away because of haladishesha. Haladishesha. So what have we used over here? We have used 7460. 7460 haladishesha. We also use the lityabhyasasya bhayesham and igyanas samprasaranam. Igyanas samprasaranam. Any new sutram, please repeat it as many times as you can. That should be top priority in Vyakaranam. Repeat the sutra as many times as you can. Please get those sutras in your memory bank as much as possible. Lityabhyasasya bhayesham sutram. And of course 7460 is haladishesha. Now we're almost done. What happens is that we have to now somehow eat up this akara. That will go, if we apply yan sandhi, we'll go back to va. We'll go back to va by yan sandhi. So we don't want that, of course. That will defeat the purpose of samprasaranam. Defeat the purpose of samprasaranam will be that. So then we have to eat up this akara. So what we can do is that we shall use sutram is samprasarana cha. Samprasarana cha, samprasarana cha, samprasarana cha, samprasarana cha, which means that following a samprasaranam, the following pura paryoho ekadeshaha is the pura rupam, because ami purvaha anusya purvaha comes. By 61108 samprasarana cha, the pura paryoho ekadeshaha will be the ukaraha. So we can get we will now have u vach by samprasaranacha. So this, between these two, pura paryoho eka, because this is a samprasaranam. Samprasaranacha pura paryoho ekadeshaha is the ukaraha. So 61108 pura paryoho ekadeshaha 61108. And then finally, of course, you apply the Atopadhaya, do the vriddhi of the sakara, make it uvacha. Uvacha, make it uvacha. This is Tingantam Prakriya. Tingantam Prakriya is really the, I said to you many times, is one of the, is a very nice way to learn Panini. Because if you can do this with confidence, then all the interactions, of the Ashtadhyayi will be very easy for you. And good news is that the most of the form, the language, do follow the Ashtadhyayi very closely. So it will be, this is like mathematics, like mathematics. So we can do these operations and get the right forms. Because sometimes what happens later on is that some of the forms there are gray areas. We have to make some tweaking, some decision. But these are straightforward forms. So one more time, we had the dhatu vach from the pratyaya lit by parokshe lit. So anajatane parokshe bhutarte. So in the past tense, which is anajatane, not of the recent past, not of today. Paroksha also, not experienced by the doer, we get the pratyaya lit. Lit comes tiptajji, of course, anubandha lopaha, tiptajji. So then we get 3482. I'll put this over here. This we can put over here. This one can go over here. And then comes the pratyaya null comes over here in place of tip. And after that, we lit pratyaya gets sanya of ardhadhatukam. We cannot bring kartari shap. Also, this one, asanyoga litkit doesn't apply because apit litkit syad. This apit pratyaya it came in place of tip. Because first tip came and then came this one. So that is the important thing. So don't skip any steps. If you don't get this step 3478 of tip coming in, null will not become prit pratyaya because null is not prit as of itself. Null is prit only because thanivad bhava. It came in place of 3478 because thanivad adesho null vidhau. Thanivad adesho null vidhau. That any adesha is this thanivad. It inherits the properties of the pratyaya it came in place of. So we cannot apply it to 125. It's not a kit pratyaya. So we cannot do some prasaranam right now. But then what happens is that when we do the abhyasaha, of course, first of all, dirvachanechi. So this ajyadesha has to wait. Ditve kartavye. So we do the abhyasa karyam. In the abhyasaha, we can get the samprasaranam by litya abhyasa chubhayasham. Litya abhyasa chubhayasham. And become the ukara comes here. And the akara comes here, and we get then, of course, haladi shesha chakara goes, and we do the litya abhyasa chubhayasham, igyana sampasaranam, then we do sampasaranachya, make the purupureva ekadeshaha, and after that do the atopatayaha, becomes vach uvacha. That's the point. So we can practice these, I know a lot of steps here. You can look at it a different way. That in one single form you can learn so many things. In one form you can get so many things. Ekasminneva rupe. So, bahuni karyani, so vidayaha nyayante, because many things are known in one single form. So, uvacha, of course, this is pratham purusha ekavachanam, so it has to be, the karta cannot be asmad or yushmad, somebody else, and it's here, rishihi uvacha, rishir uvacha. So, and then he says, rishir uvacha. Now, let's follow Malinatha. It says Rishihi. See, it is the Karta first, Rishihi. Rishi is the Karta. So always Karta, Karma, and then the Kriyapadam. So Rishi is the Karta. And who is the Rishihi? Bhargavaha. Purusharam. She clarifies, the commentary of this sloka is very straightforward. Rishihi equals Bhargavaha. And then Tam equals Ramam. See, even though the commentary is so short, Malinatha never skips this part of mentioning that who is behind the pronoun. Behind the pronoun, somebody is there. Who is that? You cannot leave this thumb hanging like that. Thumb has no meaning unless you know, said to him. Who is him? It is Ramam. Bhargavaha tam Ramam pratyavacha. And then Kimiti. Kimiti is what did he say? Kimiti is idiomatic. So what was it? What did he say? So Kim and Kimiti. Kimiti means also mean what for? Why? Kimiti. Kimiti in this case means what? Kimiti. What was that? What was that he said? This is what he said. Is that tattvataha. Tattvataha is sarupataha. So tattva means tattva is sarupa. In the true form, in reality. In reality or true form. Sarupataha. So this tattvataha, sarupataha, So this is a pratyaya which is called tasi. This is not to be confused with the panchamyas tasil. Panchamyas tasil pratyaya can only be used after these kim sarvanama bahubhyaha. So they can only be used with this right now tattvataha we have tattvataha. Tattva is not a sarvanama shabdaha, is not kim and not bahu either. So we cannot use this one. The 532 cannot be used. 537 cannot be used. But what we can use is that we can use this very important sutram, which is the 5444, comes the tasi pratyaha. The pratiyoge panchamyas tasihi. And there is a vartikam on that, 5440. It's a very important vartikam on 5444. Let's go to 5444. And that is this 5444 says, Adyadibhya upasankhyanam. This 5444, the pratyaya tasi, can be used after the adi ganaha, the adi etc. ganaha, which is this. So adyadibhya means adibhya upasankhyanam. So this adau aditaha. Aditaha means in the beginning can be adau. Remember the other one, the panchamyas tasil, only panchamyaha. But this can come in any vibhakti can be used. So this is what is called as the sarva vibhaktikaha vibhaktikas tasihi. Sarva vibhaktikaha tasihi. It is tasihi which can come in the sense of any vibhakti. So it says adyadibhya upasankhanam. Adau means aditaha. This is the typo here. Madhyataha pashvataha. So here what it means is tattvena. This tattvataha means tattvena. Let's go in the document here. So this is the, so here tattvataha is not tattvat, is not panchami, This one is talking about it is going to be titiya. And it's a kriya visheshanam really. Tattvataha is, we are using 5444, using the vartikam, which is the adyadibhya upasankhanam. And here it is equal to tattvena, means truly, tattvena. Truly, tatvena. This tatvena, this is an adverb. Tatvena is an adverb. This means clearly the usage is an adverb to vedmi. It is not that I don't know you truly. Means I do truly know you. Is the double negative. There's a double negative in the shloka here. The double negative going on here. It says that he says no vedmi iti no. So it says no vedmi no. So no vedmi. So it says no. No tattvataha tam no vedmi purusham. So it is not that I don't know you truly. I mean tattvena itself we have to know what sutram will get tritya and tattvena. Tattvena also a bit tricky because anyway, before we go there, so tattvataha becomes tattvena, becomes sarupataha, sarupena. So in your true form. It's not that I don't know you, reality, in really know you, really, sarupata, really, you're in a real form. So this tattvena is tritya vibhakti we have used, and there also we need a vartikam to justify the form tattvena itself. To get the form tattvena itself, when see any vibhakti assignment has been done in 2.3, so vibhakti vidhanam, vityasya adhyasya tritiya pade eva kriyate, ekasmin eva pade, vibhakti vidhanam kriyate. The vibhakti vidhanam can only be in 2.3, and in the pratamam sutram tatra, tritiya vidhayaka sutram, pratamam sutram, kartukaranayos tritiya. Right now we don't have that. Tattvena is not a kartu or a karana. It's an adverb. It's an adverb to the dhatu vedmi, with jnane. So this is dhatu with jnane, with not vidlu. With is in 5 ganas. But here it is the second gana. This is the adadi ganaha. Adadi ganaha which is we will use if you go dhatu patha. So this tattvena or tattvataha is an adverb. It's an adverb for the let's see if you can find with jnane. This is the adadi ganaha. Adadi ganaha. Adadi is not a very big gana. But I mean, it is not that small either. Some ganas, I mean, of course, Bhadi gana is the biggest gana, and the others, some of the others, here it is, with a jnane. Udanyane. That's the one. So right now this tatvena, tatvata is an adverb. Now how do we justify the adverb? Then same thing. 2318 has a vartikam. 2318 has a vartikam, and the vartikam says that another vartikam which says the prakrityadi prakrityadina upasankhyanam. So prakritya abhirupaha. So he's naturally good looking. He's naturally good looking. Prakritya darshaniyaha. Then also samena dhavati. He runs at an even speed. So this samena is an adverb to dhavati. How does he run? He runs at a constant speed. Vishamena dhavati. He runs unevenly. Unevenly he runs, and so on. So this 2318 vartikam you should justify tatvena. Tatvena itself requires a vartikam, which is 2318. This is so tritya vidhane prakrityadina upasankhyanam. This is the vartikam on 2318. Anyway, so that is the pratyata. See which came sarupena, tatvataha, tatvena, sarupena. Because otherwise you're only fitting a panchami. Panchami itself will not give a good meaning in this context. So tatvataha, sarupataha, swam, of course Yushnapadi will become dvitiya ekvachanam. Puratanam purusham na vedmi. Puratanam purusham na vedmi na. Puratanam purusham na vedmi na. I know you as the primordial person. Puratanam purusham na vedmi iti na. Puratanam. Now this puratana itself, if you want to form, this is a tadhita pratyaha. Tadhya pratyaha. So there is word like sanatanam, puratanam, chirantanam, sayantanam. These words are formed. How to find which sutram is used for this one? We can look at this. There is this index of examples of Kashika, the book which I have. It's very good for finding out these sutras very quickly. You know, if you want to, for example, let me see. In fact, you can also go to Amar Koshaha, and if you probably have the word Puratanam over there, Puratanam, that will be one of the quickest ways. Amar Kosha has very good commentary, by the way. The son of Paturi Dikshitaha, Bhanu Dikshitaha, written a good commentary on the Amar Kosha. So that is a very nice commentary. So Amar Kosha has a lot of words, and see Puratana comes in Amar Kosha, page 374, page 77. So there quickly he will give us exactly how this form was. How this form was derived. 74 number. So Puratanam. So Purane, Puratana. So Purabhavam. This number is 4323. You can see how quickly we can find the sutram. How to have the trick in languages, how to find the answers quickly. But we cannot memorize all these forms. You can, of course, the more you practice, of course, you'll get the. So Purabhavam. The pratyaya is Tyuhu. Tyu pratyaha. Tyuhu. So 4323. What does 4323 say? 4323. One who occurs earlier. Puratanam. So 4323. 4323. Puratanam. So sayam chiram puranye prage avyayebhya. Chulau tutcha. Also get a tut agamaha. Because you will become ana, becomes tana, puratana. He says avyayebhya. He says here sayam ityadibhya chaturbhya. There are 4 of these. Sayam chiram puranye prage. Then avyayebhyascha. Also in avyaya also. Kalavachibhya. This is kalavachi. Kalavachibhya. Chu and chulau. This is only swarabheda. Only chu and chul will be only the swarabheda with the lakaras and it. Basic for pratyas tu. Staha. We get these 2 pratyas. Tayos tutcha. The tut agamaha. Tud agamaha. One more time. Word sayantana means of this means belonging, which occurs in the evening. So chirantana, which occurs for a long time. And we have no puratana. So puratana means which occurs in the old times. Puratana. So sayantanam, chirantanam, and then pranhetaram, pragetaram, and then doshantanam, doshatanam, dosha. So puratanam also. So we have used 5323 along with, see 5323 kala vyasubhavataha. It doesn't say what meaning is. So Kaladityeva. So it should be only Kaladityeva. It should be Kalavachaka. It should be Kalavachibhya. This pratyaya is being used. Now what is that? This only gives a pratyaya that can be used. The Kalavachi Shabdaha. And if it's one of these four or any avyaya which is Kalavachi, then we can use a pratyaya tu or chil. Didn't tell you exactly which meaning it is coming here. Which meaning it is coming here. So that's the thing about Tadditas is that in one single sutram, Panini will not give the meaning, may not give the meaning also, and the Prakriti also and Pratyaya also. This sutram we got two things. We got the Prakriti and the Pratyaya. So Prakriti is an avyayam. It's a Kalavachakam avyayam. So it is the Kalavachi avyayam, which is the Pura. You got the Pratyaya tu, and you got the Tut Agama. So you got the form. Puratana form we got. But the question is, what meaning is it coming in? And the Amar Kosha is giving Pura Bhavam. Pura Bhavam. Putra Pura Bhavam is what Amar Kosha is giving. And that sutram is Tatra Bhavaha. Tatra Bhavaha is 4353. 4353. So we have to use 4323 and then use 4353 Tatra Bhavaha. Because 4323 only puts the Pratyaya in place. 4320, which comes in variety of meanings. And the one that we are looking for right now is 4353 Tatra Bhavaha. This is just to show you how to find the answer quickly. So first thing, we had the form Puratanam. Of course, I had a good idea what the Pratyaya might be, but then looked at Amar Kosha commentary, and I said there's a very good commentary on the Amar Kosha by Bhanuji Dikshitaha. He's the son of Bhatturi Dikshitaha. So very good commentary which gives you all the sutrams, etc. So if it's Amar Kosha, your job is almost done. Then you get the sutram, which is the Sayam, Chiram, Prahne, Prageya Vyayabhyaha, Tyu, Chulau, Tutcha. Tyu, Chulau, Tutcha. So we can Tut Agamaha. And then what meaning we're using it? Tatra Bhavaha, which occurs in a word, because the commentary says Pura Bhavam Puratanam. Pura Bhavam Puratanam. So 4323 along with 4353, 4323, 4353. So let's do this form. So this Pura is an avyayam. So it is a Kalavacha avyayam. So you can use the word Pura. There's no, because after Pura, because of Avyadap Supaha. Avyadap Supaha is going to be Supluk anyway. So you don't have to put in any sup over here because Avyadap Supaha. When you have an avyayam, the sup has already taken look. So you have to worry about the sup of an avyayam because of Avyadap Supaha. Avyadap Supaha. So 2482. Avyadap Supaha is 2482. And then you get the Pratyaya Tut Agamaha and the Pratyaya Tu. So you get the Tut Agamaha. So Tut Agamaha. Because Tut Agamaha, of course, you have to use Adyanta or Takitau. It goes to the beginning. Of the Pratyaya. So Tut Agamaha. So Tut, the Ukara is Uchanatam. So Tut Agamaha. It is the Tut Anubandhalope. When you remove the Alantyam and Upadesh Ajunanasika, it only the Takara remains over here. Only Takara remains because of the 132 Upadesh Ajunanasika, it and Halantyam 133 Halantyam. You get the Takara. And then after that, of course, Pratyaya is still there to come, which is Tu. In the Tu Pratyaya also what happens is that by Chutu, the Takara goes, so what remains is only the U. Because Takara goes by Chutu. Pratyayadi, Chavarga, Chavarga, Now, so this what we used here was, we used 4323 to get the Pratyaya and the Agamaha. And we also use 4353 to get the meaning. Tatra Bhavaha, 4353 to get the meaning. Now in place of you put the Adesha Ana. Yuvaranakau. In place of you, the Adesha comes Ana. Which is my teacher told me many times, I have told by my teacher is that the Pratyaya Adesha comes in Saptamasya, Pratame Pade, Purabhage. So in 7.1 comes the Pratyaya Adesha Panini does. I keep on telling you many times that you have to at some point get the idea of the map of the Ashtadhyayi. Slowly. There is no other way to master Vyakaranam. If you do not know the Ashtadhyayi well, there is no way to get good in Vyakaranam. Even though you may know Siddhanta Kaumudi, which is our main text, it is true. But Do not lose the Ashtadhyayi. You're really doing a sort of big disservice by not going to the Ashtadhyayi whenever you can. So Yuvaranakau comes in 7.1. Yuvaranakau. So that means that in place of you and vu, Yathasankham, get the ana and aka adesha. Yuvaranakau. Very simple sutram. If you don't know these simple rules, this can demystify the grammar for you. Look at the pratyaya tu. Now, who can imagine the pratyaya tu will be ana? If somebody tells you pratyaya is tu, look at the pratyaya is tu, how it became ana? Very confusing, isn't it? So the takar is it by chutu, first of all, 137. And then the u takes the ana adesha. If you don't know these simple things, it's very, very, kind of discouraging. With the pratyaya is tu, and all of a sudden you got ana over there. So, but it's very straightforward if you know some basic rules. There's nothing complicated here. Because pratyadi, chavarga, ityat. So 137, which you already know chutu. Yuvaranako means that if you have a u or vu, takes the adesh of ana and aka. Yuvaranako. So Pani prescribes a u or pratyaya vu in some way. So any u pratyaya can be lyut. For example, you can take pratyaya lyut like asanam, bhojanam, etc. So lyut can be there. It can be lyu pratyaya can be there. Q pratyaya can be there. It's not only this one, because just to quick example, your pratyaya called lyut. Lyut is there. Here also you get the halantyam, the shakvatadite, then you, and tasya ana adeshaha. Become ana. Not only that, you have another pratyaya which is just lyu pratyaya, lyu. That's 3-1, it will be 3-1, I think 133. Sorry, 134. Pratyaya lyu. Anyway, so what Pani does is that he takes all these places, just puts you. In place of you, does the ana adesha. Ana adesh. What do we have right now? We have pura, then we have the takara agamaha, then we have q, which became you, anubandha lope. Now we're just going to put the ana adesha, it becomes puratana. So puratana is an adjective. Puratana is an adjective. So puratana by using 711. One more time quickly. Now, by the way, the purpose of having the to as an it over here. See, so itaha prayojanam bhavatyeva. Sarvasya itaha. Every it is a prayojanam. Prayojanam vina it sanya nasti. Sometimes even there might be few cases where by using these rules, something may be subject to it sanya. But all these rules that we have, which we know very well by now, which is the Upadesh Arjuna Nasika Et, Halantyam, Navokta Tusmaha, all these sutras here, they might tell you something is an it. But sometimes we can say Prayojana bhavat, no Prayojanam. It's not an it. So every it that you encounter, ask what is the Prayojanam? Asya itaha kim Prayojanam? Anyatha it sanya vanasti. You cannot get it sanya at all. Of course, some of them may be not in your topics. They might be particularly there are a number of its which are employed for the Vedic swara vyavasthartham. Swara vyavastha means to determine what kind of swara it will have in the Veda. So that we are not studying in this class. But otherwise, if you ask, what is the prayojanam? And the pratyaya here, this to makes the tit pratyaya become, in the feminine, become puratani. To make a, right now we don't have. We have right now masculine. Talk with Sri Ramaha. So, Tvam Puratanam Purusham Na Vedmi Iti Na. This is talking about Ramaha. So, it is going to be Puratanam only straight. But if you had Puratanim Devim, in that case, normally what you have? You have the Ajadyata Shtap. So, Ta Pratyaya wants to come. Because we have an Adantamangam Puratana ending Nakaraha. So, Ta wants to make it Puratana. But instead comes this sutram, which is very musical sutram. It says, Diktidhani Dvaya Sajdadnai Matrach Sayap Thakthai Kai Kwarapa. In these sets of pratyayas, they will take the ni pratyaya. They will, if this pratyaya in the angam ends in this pratyaya, then these get, and very first one is tit. Anything which has to as an it, you will not get the ajadyata shtap, you will get the ni pratyaya, become puratani. So that is the way that Panini tags these pratyayas, that they will then take the neep in this Sriyam Adhikara over here. So this is the way of Panini tagging these words with pratyas which he knows is going to take the ikara ending feminine. Right now we don't have that, but we don't have to worry about that. But so one more time. Yes.
Yeah. A question. Synonymous with this is Puranam. Here the Tut Agama doesn't seem to come.
No, that's probably for a different way, Puranam, So that's probably found Puranam. We can look over here, Puranam also. That's not the pratyaya Q. So it's probably not the pratyaya Q, maybe some other pratyaya, Puranam. So because Q pratyaya takes the Tut Agama Vasu, so it will not be pratyaya Q, Q becomes it becomes Tana, Chira Tana. So Puranam must be formed by a different way, not a Chit pratyaya. It becomes so.
Purusham Puranam is synonymously used.
Is there. No, actually Purani also. Hold on for a second. Today's this you have to one more thing. Let's not forget our Bhagavad Gita, by the way, our home base. One second, Vasu. Let me just show it in the Gita, in the Ita Prasuta Purani, Nirmana Moha, chapter 15 of Gita, chapter 15. Yes, so I take it back. No. So Puratana, so Puratani, Purani also comes in Gita, right? Yata Prasuta, Purani, Nirmana, Moha, Sangadosha. Here it is, Purani. Prakritihi Purani, Pravrittihi Purani. Yata Prasuta, Purani. So this also must be some pratyaya, which is Purana becomes Purani. There must be something here because see, if Purana is the form in the neutral and masculine, then normally you should have Ajad Yata Shtap. The Tap pratyaya should come here. But something is happening here to force the Neep or some other pratyaya. So let's look at Purana. Let's see if we can find a Purana Vasam. It's probably not the pratyaya Q, because Q will take the Tut Agama. It becomes Tana. So let's look at Purana, how it is formed. Let me see. Again, I'm going to the Amar Kosha. So Purana, if I have Purana, okay, 65.5. Let's see how Purana is formed. It may be Unadi Sutram possible. It may not be this. Anu is there also. Okay, Purana. Vedangasya Puravrittam Purachira Sibhyadve. Give me 1 second. Puranam Panchalakshanam Puranam. So it says that Purabhavam Sayam Chiram Chulau Purva Kalaika iti Sutre Nipa. Okay. Actually, you know what? I didn't know that. Okay. What it's saying is that let me read it out for you. Okay. Purabhavam, the same Vigraha Vakyam. Puranam also the same Vigraha Vakyam Puratanam. See, every class I learn something new. Every class, no matter how elementary it is. This is not elementary class. But even in the most elementary class, the teacher learns something new. So the students are the best teachers. They ask you so many questions and they give you so much knowledge. Like Swamiji used to say, that don't think you're doing a favor by teaching people. They are doing a favor to you by listening to you. They are doing a favor to you by listening to you and asking you good questions and, giving you encouragement. So this, the same Vigraha Vakyam for Purana, because it's the same Amar Kosha comment. It says, Sayam Chiram iti Chulau Purvakalaika iti Sutre Nipatana Tud Abhavaha. Yadva Purapinavam Puranam Purana Prokteshu iti Sutre Nipatanam. So Yadva, he's giving 2-3 different ways, but let's keep it simple for now. So one way he's giving is that there is 49, where Panini has himself used the form Purana. So Purana. So now this is that. So what he's saying is that this is a Q pratyaya, which we just used right now, which we just used, but this will not be the Tut Agamaha because of the Nipatanat. Because pratyaya Q has been used. So if you get Puratana, should have been the form, Puratana. The form is Purana. So what happened to the Tut Agamaha? So Nipatana Tut Abhavaha. Because the 2149, Panini himself has used the word Purana. That means that in this particular case, the Tut Agamaha may or may not come. So therefore, and now the same logic for getting the Purani. It's a Pravritti Prastuta Purani. So tu agama, tu is the pratyaya, but the in this case no tut agama because of 2149 and Panini has used. That's one way. There's some other ways also, but let's not spend too much time. So it is, but it's a good question that Purana. Puranas. One more thing, if any word is used of Ashtadhyayi itself, that becomes a Nyapaka or Nipatana. So you can always invoke that. And if everything else fails, you can always invoke any rupa which Panini himself has used. And then, take this Nipatanam. So always another reason to remember Ashtadhyayi. Another reason to keep on repeating Ashtadhyayi is that any form that you encounter is a good form. So Purana, so that we have to use here the same sutram, the same set of rules, which is these over here, 4.3.23 for Tatra Bhava, and we can put Tatra Bhavam Puranam, and we can use that. But then we use 2149 to say that the Tud Abhavaha. So Tud Abhavaha. So Tud, we don't get the Tud. So Tud Abhavaha. Tut Abhavaha. Okay, so that's Purana Vasu. Are you okay, Vasu? Very good. So,
Yes,
so
thanks,
Purana, we have Purana.
because it is a very popular word, Purusham Puranam, Purusham Purana.
Puranam is definitely forward. And Purani comes in Gita, so they're also.
Narayana is Purana Purusha.
So Purana Purusha. Puratanam Purana, same meaning, exact same meaning.
Yeah.
Puravam Purana. Okay. So
Thank
Puratanam Purusham, no
it looked as though the Tut was not there for some reason, and then it's a Nipata.
Nipatana, correct. Yes. So no Vedmi iti no. So dhatu vid is in second gana, should be very straightforward form. In fact, then he makes the comment, Kintu Vedmi eva ityartaha. Vedmi eva ityartaha. So not only do I not, but I do actually know you. So I do. So this is not that I not know you, means actually I do know you, is what he's saying. It's no ved. So this is also an idiomatic usage. No Vedmi iti no. We need the same English also. Not that not that I don't know you. The form Vedmi should be very straightforward now. Dhatu is with. It is in the Adadiganaha. In Adadiganaha, the Shab takes look. Shab takes look. So it will be Adiprabhutibhya Shapaha. So we're going to skip some steps now. The Dhatu is with. Then with between the Pratyaya Lat, Anubandha Lope La, Tiptash G, and between the Pratyaya Mip. So we, after skipping some steps, and Mip means Anubandha Lope Mi, Anubandha Lope Mi. So what we did here was we've got the Vartamane Lat, then Anubandha Lopaha, and then we used the Tiptash G Mip. In the meanwhile, what happens is that the 2473168 brings in Kartari Shap, because the Mip is distinguishes Savadhatukam. Kartari Shabd is Kartari, but then comes Adiprabhutibhya Shapaha. If you know this one single rule, by the way, you can derive many of the forms in the second Gana Dhatu. So only once Adiprabhutibhya Shapaha, very simple, straightforward rule, which if you have a Dhatu in Adadi Ganaha. In fact, that's what qualifies a Dhatu to be the Adadi Ganaha. So the Shap has taken look. Means it has disappeared. The Shap has been elided. Then those kind of Dhatus fit in the Adadi Ganaha. Adiprabhutibhya Shapaha. Adiprabhutibhya Shapaha. One thing also is that the moment you look, shlu, look elision, first of all, Pratyasya look shlupaha. Pratyasya, so in the entire Pratyaya takes look. So Pratyasya look shlupaha, and then Nalumatangasya. Pratyasya look shlu lupaha. So the entire Pratyaya disappears. When you say look, shlu, or lup, not lopa but lup, be careful now. This is lup, not lopaha, but lup. If Panini uses the word look, shlu, or lup, then the entire pratyaya is gone. Not only that, nalumata. No anga karyam can now be done based on that pratyaya. Lumata, lumat. So if that elision is done by a word which has lu in it, lumat. Lumat is one which has lu, like shrimat, that's so. So lumat is one which has lu. So these three, look, shlu, lup. If one of these is used to do the elision, then based on that pratyaya, you cannot do any further anga karyam. You cannot do any anga karyam based on that pratyaya. Pratyasya lukshlu lupaha. So we can use this, so we can 1161, 1160. Otherwise, what would have happened is that you could, the guna of with could have happened based on the shap. So, but right now the shap cannot do any guna of the ikara there. But what happens is that now the mip pratyaya can do gunaha of with. Let me remind you one more thing, that any sutram, any pratyaya which has sanya of sarvadhatukam, immediately in your mind think of the sutram which is the sarvadhatukam apit. Sarvadhatukam apit. The moment a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam is apit, it becomes impotent. It is not capable of doing any guna vriddhi because of kiniticha. So when you see a pratyaya which has sanya of sarvadhatukam, immediately in your mind you ask the question, is this a pit pratyaya? Is it not a pit pratyaya? If it is not a pit pratyaya, then immediately apply 1, 2, 4. It says sarvadhatukam apit becomes nitvat iko guna vriddhi. I'm sorry, 115, sorry, kiniticha. Guna nisheda, 115, not 113, 115, kiniticha. That is what happens. So right now we are okay because the pratyaya, by the way, that's not the only provision of nit, but this is one of the main ones. Now we can also cause some prasaranam maybe, because pratyaya becomes nit. You can also start thinking about this one now, which is we just saw niticha sampasaranam may be taking place as dhatus. But the main thing to immediately note is that any pratyaya which is sanya sarvadhatukam, if it is not pit, becomes nitvat by 1, 2, 4, sarvadhatukam apit, and then that will stop any guna adesha or vriddhi adesha by kiniticha. So, but right now we have, because you might be thinking, what's the big deal if shap is gone? Shap cannot do guna of vi, no big deal. Mip can do guna of vi. That's true. Let's say the pratyaya had been bahuvachanam. It comes in Gita. Chaitad vidmah kataranno gariyo yadva jayem yadivano jayeyoho yane vajitvan jiji vishamas teva chita pramukhe dhatarashtraha na chaitad vidmah kataranno gariyo yadva jayem yadivano vidmah, not vidmah. There's no guna there. It didn't become vedmah. Na chaitad vidmah kataranno gariyo yadva jayem yadivano jayeyoho Yaneva hatva, sorry, not jitva, Yaneva hatva, jiji vishamas. Devasita prumukhi dhatara. So Arjuna is saying that I don't know what is better for me. For us, whether we should kill them or they should kill us. So I don't know which is better for us, whether we should kill them or they should kill us. Nachetad vidmah kataranno gariyo. Which among the two is better for us? Yadva jayemai, whether we should win. Yadi vano jayeyi, or they should conquer us. That might be better for us. Because Yane Hatwan Jiji Vishamat, having killed whom we don't want to live anymore. Devachita Pramukhe Dhatarashtraha. Anyway, famous shloka of Gita, of course. But Vidmaha. So in Vidmaha, this what happened is that Pratyaya was must. It's the same thing what we're doing now, but it's Bahuvachanam. Always keep Gita home based. Every word in Gita should be clearly understood what it is talking about, as far as possible. So Vidmaha, same as what is coming here. So right now, what do we have? Here we have in the Vedmi. We have Vedmi. This is the Uttam Purusha Ekvachanam. Vidmaha is Bahuvachanam. The Vidmaha there was no gunaha. In Vedmi there was gunaha. Now what is the difference between these two then? Because Pratyaya Mip has Pakara as an It, while the Pratyaya Mas does not have Pakara as an It. Both of them have sanya of sarvadhatukam by ting shit sarvadhatukam. But because of sarvadhatukam apit 1, 2, 4, the pratyaya mas becomes nitvat. And then by 115 guna nishedaha. Thus we get the form vidmaha in the Gita. In the Gita we get vidmaha. But here we have no problem because mip is a pit pratyaya, so there is no scope for sarvadhatukam pit. No need to worry. We can just do the Gunadesha by Pugantalagupatasya. Today, after 2 days from now, on Saturday's class, in the class on Saturday, we'll discuss in detail Pugantalagupatasya. Basically, it's very simple, which is a pratyaya following is sarvadhatika or ardhatika pratyaya. In that case, the the Laghu Upadha, the penultimate which is Laghu, and take Guna Adesha, which will be covered in detail in Saturday class. We'll also be getting plenty examples going forward. See, this is going to be the daily examples are going to be continue for long time. Because unless you practice, there's no way. There are only two ways to learn this. You need both of them. One is practice, abhyasa. Gita says that, abhyasena griyate. And second thing is that, adhyapanena cha. You can also teach somebody else. Anyway, so this one you're going to get the Puganta Laghu Patasya cha. We should be coming on this Saturday coming. So we'll get the form Ved me, and that is going to be 7386 Ved me. Now in Gita we had the form Vidmaha, Chetad Vidmaha in Gita, the Vidmaha, and that was no Gunaha because of the Sarvadhatukam Apit and Kiniticha. That was the Guna Nishedha happened there. We could not use. So 1, 2, 5 is what is stopped the Puganta Laghu Patasya. Now the Gita Shloka number, I can put it here if you want. Gita Shloka number was 2.6. Chetad Vidmaha. 2.6. This is Gita 2.6. Gita 2.6. 2.6 Vidmaha. 78. Okay. So now let's see. So that was the Uttam Purusha, Ekvachanam Lakara. So na vedmi iti na. It's not that I don't know you. Kintu vedmi eva ityartha. Of course I know you. Vedmi eva. What means of course I know you. Kintu, this kintu is supplied by the author, by the Tikakaraha. Gam gatasya. And he gives a paraya shabdaha. Bhuvam avatirnasya. Now, why does he bother to give the paraya shabdaha? As I told you many times, if there is ekasya shabdasya bahava arthaha sambhavanti chet avashyam spashti kartavyam asmin sandarbhe ko artha vivakshitaha kaha artha vivakshitaha. So if there are many meanings possible for a particular word, then the tikakaraha, unless it's already obvious, it's not obvious, he will make it clear to you in this context what is the meaning. This gam has many meanings. Go can mean a cow, it can also mean a bull, go can mean the Vedas, go can mean the rays, like rays of the sun, go can mean Vani, Saraswati Vani, it can mean speech, it can also mean Prithvi. In fact, if you want, you can look at let's look at Aptya for a second. So go has variety of meanings. The meaning we want right now is Prithivim. So we look at Go Prajabadikam. The Prajabadikam is Go, by the way, not Gauhu. The comes in Go Gita Mahatmyam, right? Sarva Upanishado Gavo. Dogdha Gopalanandanaha. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. The cows are all Upanishads. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. That's not the meaning here. It's Prithivim. So Gama, which comes in Gita. Gama Vishya, in fact, Gita, very good example in Gita. Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharayami Hamojasa Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharayami Hamojasa. Here Gama Vishya, having entered the earth, Dharayami Hamojasa. By my power, by my strength, I uphold all the beings. So Gam Avishya, having entered the earth. Avishya. Of course, this can also be interpreted in a couple of ways. Here also you can think Gam as Dhenum Avishya, that Gomata sustains everything. So Parameshwara is in the Gomata. She sustains all creation. But anyway, that's not the conventional meaning. But here, mostly the meaning taken is Prithivim Avishya. So the Gama Avishya comes in Gita 15.13. Let's look at Apteji, what example he gives for. So that's the reason why Mulinatha is specifying that the meaning here is Prithivi and not anything else. Gama Vishya cha bhutani dharayami hamojasa. This is mean cattle, anything coming from a cow, and then the stars also. Look at that, stars also, the sky, thunderbolt, a ray of light. Then it's a diamond, heaven, an arrow. Feminine, so it's just masculine, by the way. And also feminine. Feminine is the cow, the earth. The second meaning, the earth. So that's a variety of meanings, Also means Saraswati, speech. Also means the mother, variety of meanings. So it has a lot of meanings. It also means the eye, gocharam, drishti gocharam. So gocharam means the purview, gokarana. So anyway, okay, I think also means, let's see, a compass, a masculine means the bull. Masculine also means the bull. Let's see, cattle, cow, stars, sky, thunderbolt, ray of light, comes the diamond, heaven, arrow, then then feminine forms, the cow, the earth, words, speech, goddess Saraswati, quarter compass, the eye, variety of meanings. Anyway, that is the reason why he has given the meaning bhuvam. Bhuvam. So bhuvam means in this case is prithivim, bhuvam. Pradipradikam bhu is here in bhuvam. Of course, bhuvam means you have to do the uvangadesha. I hope by this time you are getting comfortable with that. So in this case, Gama Vishchicha Bhutani Dharayamiham Ojasa. That was coming in the Gita in number 15.14. 15:14. Gama Vishchicha Bhutani Dharayamiham Ojasa. Dharayamiham Ojasa. Gama Vishchicha Bhutani Dharayamiham Ojasa. Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha. So Prajabadikam, before we go there, Prajabadikam here is go. Go is the Pratipadikam, go. And the Pratyaya goes by the so just mode, etc. And then you get the go plus and then how do we get the akara adesha over here? I think that was homework for last time. Sutram here in the pura parayoho eka adesha atra ishyate. So okarasya sthane, akarasya sthane, ubhayoho sthane, okarakarayoho sthane atra akaradesha ishyate. You want to get an akaradesha in place of both the o and the preferably. So in this adhikara of ekah pura parayoho, you get this thing of the autom shasoho. Since ekah pura parayoho adhikara, there is this in place of both is an adesha, right? So we get this. Then comes engi pararupam. The pararupam eka adesha. So from here on, the eka adesha is the pararupam. Between two terms, in place of two terms, is an eka adesha, and that eka adesha, the single substitute, is the second term. So that's not what we want. So, but just what I'm trying to tell you is that this ekapura this adhikaraha, you can split it into 2-3 parts. Is first you get a adesha, like adgunaha, vriddhirechi. Something else is coming as an adesha. Not the previous term, not the second term, but some other third thing is coming as a pura parayoha eka adesha. So those are these first rules up to here, from here to here. And then comes the engi pararupam. Pararupam eka adesha. So here only pararupam only comes. And then after that comes the ami purvaha, purarupam. And then it goes on like that. And the adhikara ends over here. This is the Rita Utta and all this. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you know these landmarks, then you can imagine that the sutram that we want right now, we want an akara adesha in place of the okaraha akarayoha sthane. So we want an adesha, a substitute, which is neither the previous term nor the later term, because in place of o plus we want a. So this will not be in the section of pararupam. It will not be in the section of the puram also. It will be before that. So that's why we get the autom shasoho. There's a bit of a nasty sutram over here. There's a little nasty sandhi going on over here. Let's look at autom shasoho. This was the homework, by the way. Autom shasoho. So the way to hone in on this sutram is that we should be in the pura parayoha ekadesha section, but we should not be after engi pararupam. We should be before that, because that is like adgunaha, uddhirechi. You should be in that section where there is an adesha, which is in place of purva and para, which is neither purva nor para. The single adesha, the eka adesha is not para nor purva, but anyat is some other adesha is coming here. Okay, that is how we know where to go. Now let's look at 6193. 93 is, it says otaha, otaha. When you have the angam and the prajapati falling in, you shouldn't say angam. This is not angasya adhikara. It's not angasya adhikara. When you have okara, when you have an okara followed by the akara ach of or shas, or shas, otom shasoho, shasoho. So you should have a okara. Should be, when you apply sutram, always read the vritti of Siddhanta Kaumudi. This should be now a regular habit for you. Any sutram, read the vritti of Siddhanta Kaumudi, even if you don't understand it. You will understand it slowly. As you keep on practicing, you will understand it. So the vritti of Siddhanta Kaumudi will explain the sutram for you. It will demystify it for you. Demystify it for you. So otherwise, if you just look at the sutram, autom, very confusing, isn't it? Autom shaso. There's a typo. There's also a typo here. But autom shaso is a confusing thing. What does it mean? If you look at the vritti, it says what? Otaha. So following an okaraha. Then ami shasoho achi. The ach of or shas. So in place of these, you get the akaraha as ekadeshaha. So it becomes gam. So one more time. This autom shasoho is the padacheda of this is that a oto otaha am shasoho. There is an akara which is being eaten up in, which is gone sandhi here. It is a plus otaha. So 6193, this a plus otaha becomes autaha. That is what has happened. It's a plus autaha. So in the 6193, sutram 6193 sutram, what we have is 6193. We have the a plus otaha. A plus otaha, oto. It becomes auto. That is, the auto has been done. Auto. Padacheda is a plus otaha. So this akara is the adesha. In place of what? When you have the okara preceding and the ach of or shas following. Basically the akara or shas. Then pura prayoha ekadesha is the akara. So between this and this, you get the ekadesha of the akaraha. So you get from gam. By the way, let me remind you one more thing. You could not use the amipurvaha. Amipurva only when there is an ak preceding, only when there is ak. This okara is not an ak. So there's no scope for amipurva has no scope over here. Amipurvaha only applies when there is a ak letter preceding. Right? If you look at amipurvaha very quickly, 61107, always keep that in mind about amipurvaha. Same advice to you again. If you look at amipurvaha, do not do anything with amipurvaha until you read the vritti from Siddhanta Kaumudi. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. The CS Sutram. Look at the vritti in Siddhanta Kaumudi. Or if you Kashika also is fine. And then only apply it. Then only apply it. It's also like paying respect to Bhattoji, who's really our teacher in a way. Is that because he has revolutionized the entire Vyakaranam for us. So we have to pay respect to him also. He's the Acharya now for us. Even though Panini and Patanjali all are there. But for us right now, the Acharya is Bhattoji Dikshita. And the Siddhanta Kaumudi is our text. So when you pay respect to him when you read his vritti, what he has written for us, Amipurvaha, it says Ako, Akaha, Amyachi. So when up precedes and then only Amipurva can be used. Right now we don't have that. We have this because Ayun Rulruk. So I, U, Rulru only Ak. It's not an Ak letter. Amipurva cannot be used. So it's fun. Anyway, see we get the Gam over here, 6193. Yes.
So this question here. I think this came for the Go Shabda Subandha Prakaranam.
Yes.
Go to Nit makes it Nitvat, right?
Yes, go to Nit. Let's look at that one for a second. Go to Nit. Go to Nit. But thing is that this is specifically for and Shas.
Yeah, but the thing is that Nitya would not call for the Akara becoming Akara first. No.
No. See, this is a Pura Paryoha Eka, this is Akaraha now. So even if you make Pratyaya Nit, what will happen? Nit will do the Achunti Vriddhi, right? If you make what Vasu is asking is that the sutram called Goto Nitya. Where will that be in the Ashtadhyayi? Any guesses, Vasu?
It is 7-1.
7-1, very good. I'm impressed. 90-ish, maybe 90-ish, 7 or 90-ish.
90. It is 90.
90. Oh, lucky. I was lucky there. So go toward nit. Again, let's follow our rule. Look at the vritti from Kaumudi if you can find. 7190. 7190. 7190. 7190. Go toward nit. Go toward nit. This is okarad vihitam. Sarvanama sthanam nitvat bhavati. Gauhu gavo gavaha. Okay. Now, this is also parakaryam, by the way. So if we take this go toward nit and make the as a nit, which is true, this is sanya sarvanamasthanam because of sudhanapumstakasya and then if we do that, then what will happen is that this okara will become the aukaraha. Then what will happen is that the autom shasoho will have no, then that autom shasoho will have the putting of in that sutram will be useless. What you follow I'm saying? If you make it nitvat and then do the achoniti, make it gau, then what happens is that this mention of by Panini is putting in this sutra, will become useless because you will not have the o and the following like that.
So gavam will never happen, is it?
No. You mean gavam or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So, gavam. There's no gavam. No, there's no gavam.
Okay.
Only from gam. Yeah, because Pani specifically says that in following the okara and the ach of there'll be only the akara adesha. There'll be nothing else. So if you make it nitvat and make the vriddhi, then this will become useless over here. So this clearly says that it has to be, so that's one thing in the Ashtadhyayi. Everything which Panini says has to have fit together. It should jive together. If it doesn't jive, something is wrong. So Vasu made a good point with Goto Nit. The will become Nit. Then we have to do Acho Niti Vriddhi, become Gau. If we do that, then we'll never have a situation where you have the Okara followed by That is why, but Panini says in place of Okara and the Akara of do the Akara Adeshaha. So clearly Panini does not want us to do the Aukaraha when the follows. Otherwise that mention of in 693 will be useless. Okay, but good point. So we got Gam and we did here, and then I was just going to mention something. Okay, Gita it comes Go plus becomes Gam. Okay, all right. So that is what is mentioned now in the form Bhuvam given by Malinatha. The Prajabadikam is also Subandha Prakriya. Now if you practice. You've done all these forms before. So Bhu plus So here why we're not Ami Purvaha over here? Why not Ami Purva over here? Because of the fact that Ami Purvaha will not come here, even though this is an Ak letter. Ami Purvaha will not come here because the special rule which is a Parakaryam which says Achishnat Dhatu Bhruvam Yor Yang Vangau. So Achishnat, if you have the the E Varna or U Varna for Dhatu. So what's happened is this Prajabadikam Bhu has come from the Dhatu Bhu. Now you might claim that okay, so what? Now it's not Dhatu anymore, it's Prajabadikam now. But no, there is a Paribhasha which says that this quip, when you add this pratyaya 0, like quip, quin or which, is all 0 pratyas. You add a 0. You take a Dhatu, add this pratyaya which is basically 0, sarvapahar lopaha, a pratyaya like quip, and make a Prajabadikam. So unless you make a Prajabadikam, you cannot decline it. You cannot use so, just etc. with a Dhatu. It's a Prajabadikam. So to make a Prajabadikam, but when you add this 0 pratyaya, sarvapahar lopaha, then Dhatuttam na jahati. The Dhatuttam is not lost. So it is Kibbantana, Vijjanta, Tukibbantaha, Vijjantaha, etc. Dhatutvam na jahati. So this Bhu does not lose a Dhatutvam. The status of being a Dhatu is not lost by adding a pratyaya which is basically a 0. So Bhu plus becomes Bhuvam. So this is a Dhatu's Ukaraha. Ukara of a Dhatu is here, followed by an Ach. This is a very important Sutram 6477. Achishnat Dhatu Bhuvam Yuvo Yang Uvangau. Yuvoho Yang Uvangau. The Adesha is Yang or Uvang respectively. In place of E Varnaha, the Adesha will be Yang. In place of U Varnaha, the Adesha will be Uvang. Will be Uvang. So in Uvang, of course, the ending Ng is an It by Halantyam, and then the let's do it like this. What we get is that we have the Bhakara here, and then we got the Uvangadesha, 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 and then we have the, of course, Pratyaya is still there, Pratyaya. Now in the Uvangadesha, it will only be Uva, Anubandha Lope, Uv, should say Uv, because of Upadesha Ajjananasika It, and then Halantyam. Now the Pratyaya, see what happens is Anekal Adesha. Adesha is Anekal. We are in the Angasya Dikaraha. So now what should happen is that Anekashis Sarvasya will remove the entire Angam will be gone. Anekashis Sarvasya. But to prevent that, Panini has put the Ng as an It. So Nitya Sutram. Any Adesha which you do, always think of this Sutra Chatushtayam, Sutra Chatushtayam, Sutra Chatushtayam, Sutra Chatushtayam, which is the Alontyasya Nitya Adesha Parasya Anekashis Sarvasya. So here Nitya comes in and says Nit Adesha Anekalapi Antyasya Sthane Bhavati. So Nitya will be used just. That is the reason why, because Uva is Anekal Adesha, more than one letter. By Anekashis Sarvasya, the entire Angam would have been replaced. To avoid that, Pani puts Nitya. So 1153 Nitya. 1153 Nitya. 1153. 1153 brings in Nitya 1153. So we get Bhuvam, and then of course Bhuvam just joined, becomes Bhuvam. So important thing is Sutram Achishtu Dhatu Bhuvam Yuvo Yamupangau. That's the main Sutram over here. That's when the commentary which Manata gave us, he gave us the form is that Gam is equal to Bhuvam. Gam equals Bhuvam. Gam equals Bhuvam. So one more thing, it says that Gam Gatasya, one who has gone to the earth. He means Avatirnasya. Avatirnasya, one who has descended on the earth. Not Gatasya, gone inside or something like that, but he has descended on the Avatru. Dhatu is Avatru. Tru is Dhatu, Avatru. Now Tirna, this form Tirna means to cross, but Avatru should descend. Utru is also to like pass, when you pass an exam. Parikshayam Uttirnaha means I passed the exam. Uttirna. So Tarati, Tru is to cross, but with Upasarga it takes different meanings. So Avatirna. The Dhatu Tirna, now this form Tirna. Dhatu is Tru, let's do a bit of grammar here. Dhatu is Tru. So Tru, and then we add a Pratyaya. Nishtha Pratyaya. Kta. Taktavatu Nishtha. Sutram is Nishtha. And then Taktavatu Nishtha. Taktavatu Nishtha. Taktavatu Nishtha. Taktavatu Nishtha. So the Pratyaya Kta and Tavatu. Right? And then what happens is that we have to always remember this, they always call this the past passive participle, which is not a good term to use, because Avatirnasya means, look at this context now, in this Raghuvamsham right now what we have is you who has descended on earth, Avatirnasya. So even now he descended on earth, right? Not only in the past, even now Avatirnasya. So which means that this is akarmaka, when you descend, he has descended. Bhuvam Avatirna. Actually, I take it back, because Bhuvam is the karma of that. So this is Avatirnasya. This can take Gatyartha. Any dhatu which Gatyartha, like Ramaha Vanam Gataha. Rama has gone, it will be an active. It will be active. So I'm confusing two things here. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'll start again. This is past passive participle. Many times it is neither past nor passive. It is not passive here at all. It is definitely not passive. Because Ramaha Avatirnaha, he has descended, he himself descended on earth. Not that he's been descended on by somebody else. It's not a passive form. We say Ramena Vali Hataha. Vali was killed by Ramaha. No, Vali is Hata. He has been killed by somebody. But that's not what we have here. Because what the point I'm trying to make is that the same Pratyaya has been used. Pratyakta. Pratyakta is Ramena Vali Hataha. And here is Avatirnaha. Ramaha, Bhuvam Avatirnaha. He has descended on earth. Now, then why not become passive here also? Why has been descended on by somebody else? No, because avatirnaha is that he has is the gatyartha. When he has come down, dhatu in gatyartha can also become active. Gatasya avatirnasya. Avatirnasya. So gam avatirnasya. Gatyartha dhatu. Like you say, Ramaha vanam gataha. So Rama himself has gone to the forest. So gataha is an active voice, not passive. It could be passive also. Ramena vanam gatam. Ramena vanam gatam is also fine, but can be active. It can be active. So 3472 is definitely active because he is the one who is descending on earth. He's not been descended on by somebody else. So we have to use 3472. It's not a passive form, not a passive, but an active form. Active form. Okay, that is fine. But then how do we get the form? Of course, here in the pratyakta by using the lashakvatadjite, the pratya will be Now the first thing is that first order of business is that pratyaya is valadi and also sanya of ardhadhatukam. So it use step for the id agamaha. Now these dhatus udrudantai, dhatu ending in u or ukaraha or rukara, dirgha, u or dirgha, u, they are anidhatavaha. They have what they have is anudatta swaraha. So eka shupadesha anudatta in nishedha. These long u ending and long ru ending dhatus, they have the anudatta swaraha. So eka shupadesha anudatta in nishedha. Get in nishedha. That's the first step. First step is in nishedha. So 7 to 10. So 7 to 10 does the in nishedha. This is active, and then 7 to 10 does the in nishedha. Does the in nishedha. In nishedha. In nishedha. In nishedha. In nishedha. In nishedha was 7 to 10 in nishedha. So and then now comes another sutram. Once we fix that, then what we can do is imply sutram. It says that ruta idhatoho. Ruta idhatoho. It's right here. Ruta idhatoho. What this is saying is that with dhatu ending in rukaraha, it takes the rasva ikara deshaha. So then you might ask yourself, is why ever have a dhatu ending in rukaraha if it's always going to take the ikara deshaha? Sutram has no condition. It says ruta idhatoho. If you have the rukara of dhatu, it'll become into an ikara desha. Then why have the ruka in the first place? Obvious question. Nitya karya. We're always going to make the rukaraha into a ikaraha. It says that 71100. I'm sorry. Rudantasya dhatoho. Angasya. Angam should be a dhatu ending in the rukaraha. Ending. Itsyat. But then why do we have a rukara ending in dhatu in the first place? The answer to this question is that if there is a guna adeshaha, a vidya adeshaha, whatever, they are all parakaryani. So they will overrule this one, ruta dhatu. For example, if you want to make the form lat lakaraha, prathama it will become tarati. Tarati, so you get dhatu tru plus lat. Lat becomes tip, you get the shap in between there. Tru, shap plus ti. Now shap does guna. For tru becomes uran, raparaha becomes tar. So what's happening there is that we get the guna adeshaha, achoniti. Guna adeshaha. And when that happens, then this one, the rukara is lost, becomes ar. So then we cannot use ruta dhatoho. So the important fact here is that even though ruta dhatoho is not put in conditions, but if you have to guna adesh is parakaryam to this, parakaryam. So this will not get a chance to apply. So that is the reason why rukara is required. It will become a ikara only if it survives the guna vruddhi. Otherwise it will not become. So ruta dhatoho, and then make it, then of course first we have to mention why does the kta not do guna adesha then for through. Same sutra, kiniticha. We already saw that, kiniticha. Kiniticha, there is no guna adesha because the pratyaya is kit. Pratyaya is kit, there is no guna adesha. Kiniticha. So that is first required. So first you say in nishedha, and also we can put right here is that the 115 is guna nishedha. Guna nishedha. That is also thing 115 is guna nishedha. Then only we can apply the ruta dhatu. So now uran raparaha will come. Uran raparaha. So we get tir plus is what we have. Ruta dhatu. Now what happens is that because we have the repanta dhatu now. So dhatu was through. In place of ru, we got the ikara adesha. Uran rapara became tir. So this is still the dhatu. This is still a part of the dhatu. This becomes a repanta dhatu. This nishtha takara becomes a nakaraha. Nishtha takara becomes nakara by 8242. 8242. Radabhyam nishthato naha. Purvasya cha daha. If you have a radabhyam, it's dhatu ending in repa or dakaraha. Nishtataha. So nishtatakarasya. The takara of nishtha becomes a nakaraha. And if you have like a dhatu in dakaraha, even the prior dakara becomes a nakara. But right now we have a refanta dhatu. Refanta. So we don't have, so this part won't apply to us right now. So this only talks of situation where there is a dakaranta dhatu, like klinna. So klinna, bhinna, word like bhinna. So bhid plus na becomes bhinna. So in case of bhinna, you get two operations. Nishtha takara becomes nakaraha, and also the ending dakara of the dhatu becomes nakara. But right now we have the dhatu tir. And after tir, there is no dakara there, so we only use this part of the sutram, which is that radabhyam nishthato naha. Radabhyam nishthato naha becomes the only nishtha takara becomes nakaraha. So 8242. Then we use 8242, and we'll put that over here. 8242 will become into radabhyam nishthato naha. Radabhyam nishthato naha. Purvasya cha daha. 8242. Even here also, you read the vritti from Kaumudi. In the class, you don't have time to do it every time, but when you do it at home, please don't apply any sutram until you read the vritti from Siddhanta Kaumudi. So, and then make sure that all your conditions are satisfied. So it becomes 8242. Then what happens is that after this, the ikara becomes dirgha sutram halicha. 8277 is that if you have a dhatu ending in vakara or a repaha, followed by a hal, vor upadha dirgha ikaha, then the upadha ik becomes dirgha. One more time. Let's look at the vritti for this. Let's see. Let's look at 8277 halicha. 8277 halicha. 8277 halicha. 8277 halicha. Repa vantasya dhatoho. Repa vantasya dhatoho, which is going to be a dhatu ending in repa or a vakaraha. Upadhayaha ikaha. Dirgho hali. We should have a hal letter following, which we do right now, because we have the nakara following right now. That's the hal letter. Hal letter is here, nakaraha. Then we have a repanta dhatu, because remember, this is all the dhatu still, because the ir adesha came in place of the ru of the dhatu. So even the ir is part of the dhatu now. So this is a repanta dhatu. We have the hal following. Then upadhaya ikaha dirgha. This upadha ikara, penultimate letter. So penultimate letter that gets the dirgha adesha becomes tir. Tirna. So next is tirna. Tirna. We're almost there. One last step, then we are done. So we get tirna. Tirna we're going to get by halicha sutram. And then finally, of course, we get the nakara adesha by rashabhyam no nasamana pade. Rashabhyam no nasamana pade. So this is that the nattam, which should be well known to you by now. So 841, which is going to make it tirna. 841 makes it tirna, tirna. So you appreciate the sequence of rules in the Ashtadhyayi, in Tripadi section. Tripadi section, you got to appreciate the brilliance of Panini. How he puts all these rules one after the other. They can give all the desired forms and not have to look back. You cannot look back in Tripadi section. So first Panini does this one here, Nishthato Naha. Rephanta Dhatu you have, makes it Nishthato Naha. Then does the Dirgha by Halicha. Then the Shabhyam Nonas Samanapade Tirna. Before that we use the Sutram Ruta Dhatoho. Before that we use Kiniticha Purnishedha. Before that we also use the Ekachpadashanudatsat in Nishedha. Then we also use the 3472 to make it into Kartari. Then this one is the Taktavatu Nishtha, Sutram called Nishtha. So you got the form Tirna. This is good practice for you. Try to, when you after class you can practice on your own. You know, this is probably the main sutram here. This one is important. So is Halicha, and then the Rute Dhatoho. Always know the domain of each rule. What domain are you in? So this requires the Rukaranta Dhatu. This requires a Dhatu ending in a Repha or Dakara, followed by the Nishtha Takaraha. This requires a Dhatu ending in a Repha or Vakaraha, followed by a Hal. These are all these various domains. So this happened to be in all of them. But so this one is Ruta Iddhato. Dhatu meaning Rukaraha. This one is Radabhyam Nishthato Naha Usachadaha. A Dhatu ending in Repha or Dakara, followed by a Nishtha Takara. This one is Halicha. Should be a Rephanta Vakaranta Dhatu, followed by Hal. So you can appreciate these various domains which are being used here. So Tirna, one who has descended. Tirna is descended. So Avatirnasya Tava. So he made the commentary Gam equals Bhuvam, and Gatasya becomes Avatirnasya, one who has descended on earth. Taken Avataraha. Not Gatam is gone inside or something like that, or stationed. Avataraha. Tava, straightforward, Ramasya. Vaishnavam is from the Vishnu. You can apply Pratyaya and over here in some sense. Tasyedam, maybe Tasyedam. They have said to you that this is from Vishnu. From Vishnu come Vaishnava. Of course, the various meanings can be used before, not to go into too many details, but as I said to you, Pratyaya is the Pragdivyato An. Pani puts An as the default. And within this Pragdivyat, Divyat comes in 442. So from this 4183 to 442, the Pratyaya will be An by default. Pragdivyato An, Pragdivyato An. And within that comes the Adhikara of Sheshe. Various variety of meanings Pratyayas can be used. Within that we can use a variety of rules. One is the Taschedam, in Taschedam. So Vaishnavam is Vishnu ho idam Vaishnavam. One meaning, it can be other meanings also, of course. But so he belongs to Vishnu. Belongs to Vishnu. So Vaishnavam. So we can use that technique. Again, Taditas is difficult because there are 1,000 rules. So even if you don't get the exact one, if you got general idea and you can understand, of course, one thing you do need is that how did Vishnu become Vaishnavam? If you want to do the Angakaryam now, you have to do the guna of the ending Ukaraha and the Vriddhi, Adi Vriddhi, Adi Vriddhi, Adi Vriddhi. If you can take the Taschedam 43120, both Taschedam 43120, so Vishnu, Vishnu plus the An, Vishnu plus An. I think this should work here. I haven't double checked this, but this should work, which is the Pragdivyato An, Taschedam, Pragdivyato An, Taschedam should work. Vaishnavam 4183. And then what you do is that, of course, An means Halantyam, Anubandha Lope, First order of business to remove that its letter. Because there are no as in it, you get the Adi Vriddhi. Tritesho Chamadehe. Tritesho Chamadehe becomes the Y. So you get the Adi Vriddhi. So 721, if you have Tadipatyaha, which is the tavarga panchama, achavarga panchama is an it. There's the adi vriddhi, vriddhi of the adi acha. Chinteshu achamadehe. 72117. 72117. This sutra becomes Vaishnava. 72117. The sutra was Achonyati, followed by Atopadhayaha. Achonyati followed by Atopadhayaha. Chinteshu achamadehe. So it becomes Vai. And then what happens? Angam gashta bhasanya by yachibham. Remember, every tadhisa adhikaraha is a subset of, let's do this step first. Let's make it Vaishnu. Vaishnu. Taditeshu chamadehe. Chamadehe becomes Vaishnu. So become Vaishnu. So this is Taditeshu chamadehe. Teshwa chamadehe. Chamadehe. So it becomes 72117. And then comes you get the bhasanya, because remember, tadita adhikara is subset of these, so just the niya pradipati adhikaraha. So the tadita pratyaha also come in the heading of the swadi pratyaha, swadi. So taditaha goes from 4176 to end of 5.4, but 412 was itself a swadi. So swadi pratyaya includes taditaha. And also Sri Pratyaya also includes Taditas, also includes Sri Pratyaya, Sri Pratyaya, Sri Pratyaya, Sriyam. So every Sri Pratyaya and every Tadita is also a Swadi Pratyaya, Swadi Pratyaya. Again and again. Know the Ashtadhyayi as well as you can. But knowing the Ashtadhyayi map is very, very, very useful, is essential, which most people don't want to do today. Most people today do not want to study Ashtadhyayi. They only want to study maximum Kaumudi. That's it. Maximum they come to that, but I think that leaves you very little bit of a problem because you don't understand the Ashtadhyayi system, the Ashtadhyayi engine, how the Ashtadhyayi engine is put together, what are the parts, how they interact with each other. So that is okay. Then we get the bhasanya by yachibham, swadishva sarvanamasthani yachibham, and then comes sutram or gunaha. If the angam has or gunaha is here, angam has bhasanya, and if you have the uvardantam angam, then you get or gunaha. It takes guna adesha. Without you will not get the form Vaishnava. So we get so we apply this. Now we get Vaishno plus O. So Vaishno plus O, and then you can do Vaishnavam by doing the echo yavayavaha, echo yavayavaha, echo yavayavaha. So let's first make it into Vaishno plus O by using the bhasanya. The moment you apply the bhasanya, you have to call the subroutine of bhasya adhikaraha. We start from 64129, and Devya Sutram 64146. The pratya following is tadita. If you have the uvanantamangam, it is like Raghavaha, Bhargavaha. All these forms come from that only. So then we get, of course, then use echo yavayavaha. Then use echo. We can put it here, right here. Put Vaishnava by using echo yavayavaha. Echo yavayavaha. Echo yavayavaha. Vaishnava. Vaishnava. It becomes the echo yavayavaha. Echo yavayavaha. Okay, Vaishnava. So that was the way Vaishnava was formed. So this is I'm hoping when you do all these examples that you will slowly start to get some confidence. Some you can try on your own a few things, get some basic understanding of how these pratyas in the younger karyam, how it works, the Ashtadhyayi in general, how the Ashtadhyayi works. So Vaishnavam, so Vishnu idam Vaishnavam means of Vishnu. So Dhama is various meanings. So Dhaman Pradipadikam, by the way, Dhaman. This we have done many times in the daily examples. I won't do it in the class, but the moment you see the Akaranta Rupam like that, which is either Prathama Advitya Eka Vachanam and Visarga Rahitam, there's no Visarga there, you can almost close your eyes and bet that this is going to be a Antaha, Napumsalinga Pradipadikam. Anantam, Anantam, Napumsalinga Pradipadikam. Like a word like Janman. Comes in Gita, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evanyo Veti Tatvataha Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naitimameti Sojuna. So like in Gita comes, in fact in Gita comes the word Dhama itself. Tadhama Paramam Mama. Mama Evamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutasya. Here it comes in Gita right here. Yad gatvana nivartante taddhama paramam taddhama paramam. That is my supreme abode. So Dhaman. Again, we won't go through it in the class. It's already been done in daily examples. So we'll have limited time in the class. So Dhaman Pratipadikam is that the Dvitiya Ekvachanam over here, Dhaman. So you get the Pratyam, and by Ato takes the Amma Desha. If you didn't take Amma Desha, then you will take this Samo Napunsaka, will take and Luk Syat. To avoid that, Pani makes the Amma Desha in place of becomes Atoam. And then, of course, we get the, I'm sorry, I take it back, excuse me. So Dhaman, this Nakaranta, no Atoam. Atoam only comes with Akaranta Angam. So here we have this, excuse me, Samo Napunsakat only. Luksyat. So Dhaman plus takes Luk, so becomes Dhaman. Then of course we get the Padasanya because of Suptingantam Padam, Pratyalope Pratyalakshanam, Suptingantam Padam. Then we can use the Nulopapadikantasya. Nulopapadikantasya. So this one is here. In Gita word like Janman, Karman, Brahman, Dhaman, Basman, Vartman, various forms in Gita. So Basman is not in Gita, but the others are in Gita. So anyway, this 15.6, the word Dhaman comes here. So we are, so Dhaman, what you're using is that Dhaman, you get the form Dhaman. The Pratipadikam is, okay, we'll put Dhaman plus and we got the form Dhama. So what we have really done here is that we have done the, so this is by 412, and then after that we have done the Stamo Napunsakar Luksyat. After that we got the Nolop of Pratipadikanta Nama. Okay. So and then now there's only one word remaining in this shloka, how interesting, which is the okay, now first of all, why do you give the meaning again? Same thing. Dhamma is various meanings. Here it means prabhavaha or teja, your power, or your glory, or your brilliance, So Dhaman again has various meanings. So he wants to make sure the one that you're using in this context is the one that is desired one. So if you look at Dhaman, it has various meanings. Dhaman means like an abode, destination. His Sadhama, like in Gita, Sadhama Paramam, like in Gita, which you just saw in Gita right now, which was the Yad Gatva Nivartante Tadhama. So having gone to which one doesn't come back. That is my supreme abode. Having gone to which one doesn't come back. That is, so the here Dhama is not the Tejaha. Actually not Tejaha, like destination. So let's see what Apte gives for the Dhaman Pratipadikam, various meanings of Dhaman, which is the Dhaman Pratipadikam Dhaman. The meaning is here dwelling or an abode, residence, house. That's not what we have here. It says a place or a site, no, a resort. Okay. Inmates of a house, no. A ray of light, not really. It says luster, splendor. That is one we could have in splendor. Or glory, majesty. Here, this is the one. Majestic luster or majesty of glory, dignity. So basically I wanted to see your glory, your majesty. So that is why I angered you purposely. Not that I don't know who you are, but I want to see your glory. So how? So Tejaha, luster, power. I want to see your power or your glory. This is not meaning that I want to see your destination or your abode. That's one thing. And then here comes the Drakshana. This is Sananta Pratyaha. Again, already in the Wednesday class, we've done this in great detail. You want to learn Sananta Prayogaha, already been recorded in great detail in the Wednesday class. Wednesday class recordings, the Sananta Prakriya has been done almost in full detail. So we'll only go into some basic steps in this class. Otherwise, repeating the whole thing again. Dhatu is Drishya. In fact, the very first shloka of Gita, right? Very first shloka of Gita. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, umaveta, yutsavaha, yuyutsu. Yutsu is yodhum ichchuho, is one who wants to fight. That itself in the very first shloka of Gita, you had the form yutsu, desirous of fighting, desirous of fighting, desirous of fighting. So let's go through some basic steps here. Won't put all the steps. You want to look at more details, already recorded in full detail in the Wednesday class. You can look at recordings there. Basic sutram over here is that 327 is 317. I'm sorry. Dhatoha karmanaha samana krutukad ichchayam va. So you said drashtum ichchuho. So drashtum ichchati, didrukshati, drashtum ichchati. So ichchayam va. So when you desire to do something, then the dhatu should be the desire of the object of desiring. So I desire to see. So the object of desiring is this dhatu, drish. Drish is coming object. So following such a dhatu, and should have a samana karta, which means that the one desiring should be the one doing the seeing also. If I'm desire of seeing myself, then what kind of pratyaya sun comes optionally? Optionally there can be a vakyam also. So drashtum ichchami, didrukshami, didrukshe. There are some complicated rules over here. It doesn't affect us right now, but in 1.3, which you're already touching in the daily examples, in 1.3, you know this entire padam vyavastha is in 1.3. Panini says what takes parasnipadam, what takes atmanipadam. In 1.3, Panini starts with anudaptanita atmanipadam, which we're studying in the daily examples. So atmanipadam, parasnipadam, and there Panini has specific rules, which he gives 3-4 dhatus, which the reason I'm mentioning right now is that this dhatu drish specifically mentioned in that let's see if I can find it for you here. Here it is. Nya shru smru drisham sanaha 1357. 1357 you can only take at, you can say didrukshe only you can say. Didrukshe. So 1357 I desire to not didruksham you cannot say. 1357 is that nya shru smru drishi ete sham sanantanam apnipadam bhavati. We become like didrukshate. Somebody wants to see the king. Not didrukshati, we become didrukshate. But right now we don't have to worry about that. Right now what we're having an adjectival form. Didrukshaho. Didrukshu pratyaya is uhu. Pratyaya is uhu. Which is the sanashamsa bhaksha. So we don't have a tingantam form at all. We have subantam form, didrukshaho. But it doesn't matter. So you have to form the dhatu didruksha first. Then make an adjective kridanta form, participle form. A participle form out of the didrukshu. So first let's derive the form didruksha in brief. Okay. So dhatu is dru. So dru dhatuhu. And then what is going to happen here is that drish dhatu. Dhatu is drish, not dru. Take the pratyaya sun. Anubandha lope sa. We're going to skip some steps here. I said it's all recorded in detail in the Wednesday class many times. So just do it in brief over here. So it becomes 317 dhatoho karmanaha. Dhatoho karmanaha. Samana kritukad ichchayam va. Pratyaya san. Dhatoho karmanaha. Samana kritukad ichchayam va. So we got one who desires to see for oneself. And then what happens is that check whether is there any idagama. The most complicated thing of the sun pratyaya is the idagama. Believe it or not, is the idagama. Believe it or not, the most complicated part of sun pratyaya is the idagama. There are some rules in 7.2. There are a number of rules which go back and forth of the idagama. So remember this one thing in today's class is that if you want to derive any of these forms, and the first thing you want to do, check the idagama. So that is going to trigger. That's going to trigger 2 or 3 other rules. So id vyavastha you have to do first. And there are a number of rules. Like for example here, you write here, I think there might be a rule over here, which is sunny. See sunny graha guhoscha. So all these rules about sun pratyaya, some of them are sakadi pratyaya, there are some rules. So here I think there's one rule over here. Rishaha. There are some rules with sakaradi, pratyaya sakaradi. Then what all happens? So this and that. Let's see what not this one, I'm sorry. So there are, sichi, chaparasnepadeshu, and then there is say sichi here. Then the pratyaya is sakaradi. So sun and pratyaya will come. So, all this, we look at 7 to 50. Anyway, there are a number of rules, specifically sun. Here, this one is there, 7 to 49 is there. The pratyaya sun is mentioned over here. 7249 is there. So all these complicated rules for the idagama in sun. Some of them are specifically for sun. Some of them are shared with other pratyayas. Sakara pratyaya you have. So the first thing you want to do is check for the idagama. Once you do that, then it becomes so sakara asichi. So it becomes all these things. So here the good news is that dhatu drish is a anid dhatu. But by 7 to 10 itself you get in nishedha. You don't want to look anything for straightforward. 7 to 10, you want to do the in nishedha. Because the shanteshu is dhatu drish listed in the shanteshu. Because this is anudatta upadesha dhatu. This dhatu has anudatta upadesha. If you look at the listing given in 7 to 10, they give all those, in the Vyakhyanam, not the Sutram itself, in the Vyakhyanam on 7 to 10, it gives a list of these halanta dhatus which will not take idagamaha. And there in the Talavya Shanteshu, the Shanteshu you have the Shanteshu, Krusha, Damsha, Disha, Drisha. So Drisha is going to be anid dhatus because of 7 to 10. Once you get that, then the question is why there was no guna? Why not become darsha? Why become only drish? Why not darsha? So that's what I said is that once idagama is stopped, then this pratyaya becomes, sun becomes kitta. Kit by 1 to, I think it's 1 to 10. If you have a jaladi sun, so pratyaya which is sun which is jaladi. What does that mean? Sun is already jaladi, sakaradi. Means it doesn't take idagama. Then halantachi, if you have a dhatu ending in a hal, followed by a pratyaya sun which is jaladi. In that case the sun becomes kitta. And then by kniticha guna nisheda, which is saw today. So one more time. If you have a sun pratyaya, which has no idagama, is jaladi, following a dhatu is halantam, which you have that, halanta dhatu, which has the ik prior to it, then this is the complicated thing. Then that sun pratyaya becomes kitta. By 1 to 10. So then what happens is by 1 to 10, and then combination of this 1 to 10 and 115 stops the guna, stops gunaha. Otherwise you should have had the puganda lagu padasya gunaha because the pratyaya sun has the sanya of ardha dhatu come, stops gunaha. Drish sun, drish plus sun. Now we can do the abhyasa karyam, which is the sanyangoho. Sanyangoho, if you have the entire sun pratyaya along with the drish, sanyangoho is a shashti. So the entire thing along with the sun will take abhyasa. Suppose you get haladi, shesha, etc. So 619 will take with abhyasa. And the special sutra in abhyasa is this one, which is sanyataha. In the abhyasa of sun, the akara, when sun follows in the abhyasa, when the sun pratyaya is falling, then the abhyasa, the akara of abhyasa takes the ikaradesha, sanyataha. That is the trademark of the sun pratyaya. Trademark, like pipasuhu, jidnyasuhu. So all these words we get. So if there is an akara in the abhyasa, we will take the ikaradesha. So 7-4. So we do abhyasa karyam here. What we're going to get is that we're going to get drish, sun, drish. We're going to get like this. So take this one down here and do the abhyasa karyam. We get drish. Repeat it twice. So we'll take this one here, make the abhyasa. I know time is almost up, so we'll do it like this. Put that here. So this one will take the only sakara here. So and then haladi shesha. Only the dakara. These two will go up. Haladi shesha. Then urat uran raparaha. We'll put all these together. So what we then get is that we get dar. Right, dar, because we do haladi shesha. We get to haladi shesha. And then we get dar, drisha plus sa is what we get. The drisha plus sa. This is what we're going to have now. We have applied the so this one was sanyangoho. Do the abhyasa. And here we did haladi shesha. Haladi shesha, we removed that shakara and sakara over there. And then we applied the urat. In place of ruvarna comes the akaradesha, then uran raparaha, becomes dar drish, and then again we'll do haladisheshaha. Then again apply haladisheshaha, and we're going to get the drish sa, the drish sa, the drish sa, the drish sa, the drish sa. So we get this one. So this is going to become the drish haladisheshaha, 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 haladisheshaha. That is also gone 7460. I'm sorry, 7460 haladisheshaha. And now we are to do the sandhikaryam. Sandhikaryam. So what I have first thing is that this shakara becomes a murdhanya shakara by 8236. 8236, which is the vrashcha, vrashcha ityadina, brajashchasham. Any dhatu in talave shakara, followed by a jal or padant, jali padante, becomes murdhanya shakara. So we have dhatu here, which is this. This entire thing is the new dhatu sanya, by the way, by the sanajanta dhatavaha. Not only that, this drish also was a dhatu. So this drish also inside is a dhatu. So this by 8236 we get the murdhanya shakaraha. And then after that shadoh kasi. So this is only sandhikaryam now. Only sandhikaryam. So this one is going to become murdhanya shakaraha. Murdhanya shakaraha. Murdhanya shakaraha by the vrashchetishaha. Vrashchetishaha. So 8236. After that shadoh kasi. This, if there is a murdhanya shakara or dhakaraha, followed by a sakara, it becomes the kakara adeshaha. These are only sandhikaryam rules which hopefully we get familiar to you. 8241 shadoh kasi, shadoh kasi, shadoh kasi. The shakara or dhakara followed by sakara becomes kakaraha. Shadoh kasi becomes drik. I forgot one thing, I'm sorry. Shall make it D over here because sanyataha. Sanyataha, in the abhyasa of sun, when the sun pratyaya follows, in the abhyasaha, this becomes, that was the main special rule here is sanyataha, 7479. I'm sorry, time is out, I know. Give me a couple of minutes, we're almost done with this. 7479, 7479 also we have to use, make it D, 7479, 7479, 7479, 7479 becomes D, then this becomes D, and then finally shadoh kasi. Shadoh kasi becomes into a kakaraha, and then of course adesha pratyayoho, adesha pratyayoho. So we get D, and then I'm sorry, okay, D, and then get dr, druksha, druksha. So we have done shadoh kasi to make the mudhan shakar into kakaraha. Then adesha pratyayoho will make the sakara into murdhanya shakaraha. Didriksha, we got didriksha. This is a new dhatu now. Because sanajanta dhatavaha, sanajanta dhatu sanya. Didriksha, didriksha. And then we apply the patya uhu. Patya uhu. With Svasha Sutram 32168, which says chana samsa bhaksha bhiksha uhu. That if you have the sananta dhatu, add the patya uhu, you get an adjective mumukshu, jidnyasu, pipasu, all this ending u pratyaya is used when the sananta dhatu is there. And of course, this pratyaya uhu has a sanya of other dhatu come, get ato lopaha. The ending akara is going to take ato lopaha. So which is the 6448, because the pratyaya didriksha plus you have u, and then you can get, technically speaking, one more thing is that you should have done these operations only after adding u. So these operation techniques should have to wait till we add the u pratyaya, because you cannot go to tripadi until we have done the sapasapta jayakaryani. So we should actually should have first apply this 32168 bin the pratyaya u along with 6448, and then go to the tripadi section to finish off the sandhika. So didrukshu, I'm sorry, didrukshu. So this one is becoming didruksha. Okay, didrukshu becomes a adjective form here. It says qualifying parashuramaha aham didrukshuho, and didrukshuna, like guru shabda, guruna, didrukshuna. Then maya kopitaha. Kopita is dhatu. Kup is a niche pratyaya, it becomes kopi. And then add the nishtha pratyaha idagamaha, the nishtayam seti. Learned many times before. We'll maybe do next time again. Time is up. So let us do here the kopitaha. The kopitaha is a nishtha pratyay is there, but also is a nich pratyay there. So kopitaha is dhatu is kup, but then this is the, you have been made angry by me. So made angry. So then you have to get the idagamaha by 7 to 10. Nishtayam seti. Nishtha pratyaya drops away. So this ikaraha is the idagamaha, not the nish pratyaya. Kopitaha. Last thing is that is this ichu. Ichu form is in the very next sutram. Ichuna. How the word ichu come? Ichu is given as a straight direct form by Panini in this sutram 32169. 32169. He gives Vindu and Ichu as two forms. Dhatu vid and ish. Ichu is a form given by 32169. Panini directly gives the form Ichu. Is one who has desire. So dashtum Ichu. One who has desire Ichu. One who has desire Ichu. Ichu is one who has desire. So 32169 Ichu. Okay, I'm sorry. Nagaraji is waiting for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, namaste. Namaste, sir.
Yeah, I tried to finish the shloka because it was getting a bit late. Okay, let me try to stack it for you. Okay, let's see if I can do a good job of stacking it for you. Okay, unfortunately, I think we need 2 pages, so let's do this one. Okay, let's see the view. Okay, zoom out. Where is the view? I'm sorry, 1 second. View. Okay, let's see what we can find. The sage. What is for the sage?
Rishi.
Rishi, very good. Replied.
Pratyuvacha.
Pratyuvacha. To him is
Tam.
Tam, very good. It is for it is just the iti. So not is one of the no, right?
No.
That it is not. This is the iti, not that. It is that. Also iti, that. No, I do not know. So it is
Na vedmi.
No vedmi, because vedmi karta can only be aham.
Yeah.
Only be aham. So no, I do not know. No vedmi. So no vedmi iti no. D is going to be twam.
Swam.
To be the primeval. What's primeval is?
Puratanam.
Being is
Purusham.
He says from thy real nature. So he's taking Panchami. Interesting. Taking Panchami. So he's taking Panchami here. Taking Tattvataha. Truly. Real appearance. Okay, let's look at the next page. I'm sorry, this is the next one. So truly, we have to look at this one here. Okay, so so to appearance. So but, what is but? Must be, I think, a 2 number. So let's see. Probably he maybe he.
He.
Probably he, because
He as he.
yes, I think he. So let us look at this one. With a desire to see thy Vaishnava power. So
Vaishnavam Dhama Vidukshana.
So Vaishnavam Dhama, Vaishnava power, and power is put Dhama is 1 second. Please hold on for 1 second. Sorry. So I think let's keep the he for the time being, and then with the desire is to see, that is the
Vidukshana.
and then Maya, by me.
Yeah, Maya Vidukshana.
With desire to see Vidukshana, okay. And then we get Vaishnava power. Da is Tava. Vaishnava power is this
Dhama.
Descended is
Gatasya.
Avatirnasya. Then on earth is Gam. Gam. As thou art. So something thou is Tava. Gam Gatasya. His Shashti goes with this Vaishnava Dhamma, so I want to see your power. You who has descended on earth. So I have provoked this. He made an active voice.
Maya kopita.
Maya is, so you have been provoked by me. So by me, who is desirous of seeing your Vaishnava power, you who are descended on earth. That's the whole meaning. So, okay, sorry for delay, sorry 10, excuse me, but Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vihata Nishachara Chamo Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mahamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Onnamati. How are you doing, Vasu?